Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Safe Travel RV Upgrades, Tips, and Tricks. Today we're going to talk about something really important to most RVers, and that's drinking water inside of your RV. Well, I think I found the solution. It's called the Brita two-stage water filter. And let me show you what my RV came with from the factory. It came with this whole house RV filter right here, and it uses these little carbon filters. And it's been okay, but the problem is I like to sanitize my freshwater tank, and to really properly do it I have to take that filter out while I'm sanitizing, when I'm rinsing it out, so it's just become a big hassle. So I've decided to leave that filter in place as a sediment filter, because you never know what you're going to get at some of these campgrounds. And then I installed a point of use Brita two-stage water filter at my sink. And its only function is to give us tap water right there at the source. So that way I can isolate it from my, when I decontaminate my water system, that system is isolated. It's also very easy to winterize too. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to install it today, so let's go. Okay, now we need to find a place to install this water filter. Since this is a point of use, you're gonna need to install one of these, and it needs to be over the sink so you can, winterize it and whatever. But since I have an opening right here where my trash can sits, I can reach up underneath here or go through this compartment door and actually put my nut on and my water line once I install this. So perfect place to put that. Now we got to decide on where to put this. I've got panels in here that I installed aftermarket just to kind of keep my trash in one area. So when I take that panel off, you can look back in here, and I've got a shelf right here that I'm going to mount it to. I'm just going to glue that down right there. And if you look right here, there's my water supply, 1/2-inch PEX. Need to go and pick up one of these. This is a 1/2-inch by 1/2-inch by 3/8 outside diameter compression fitting for your water line to go to your water filter. You'll cut that. You'll just push these in there. I'll show you how I do that. But this is what you need to get, 1/2-inch by 1/2-inch by 3/8 OD. For PEX copper PVC pipe. It'll make your job easy peasy right here. All right, so let's get this shelf installed. I'm going to prime it, so in case I get water on it, it's not going to warp. So I'm going to go ahead and paint it before I install it. And it'll go right there. Once I get that installed, I'll show you about the water lines. Okay, the quickest way to get the water out of your water line, of course, is not to be hooked up to city water. Have your water pump off. Open your faucet in the kitchen, and then unscrew this. This is your low point drain right here. Just unscrew that, and that water will come out, and then you'll be able to cut your pipe. Okay, so I've marked where I'm going to cut it. You're going to have to pick up one of these. It's a PVC, CPVC PEX cutter, but you got to get a 90-degree cut across here. So I'm going to try my best to get 90 degrees in here. I'm just going to get it down there where I need it. And then I can square it up. That looks pretty good. And I'm cutting through it. All right, that looks 90 degrees right there, folks. Now I'm going to show you how to put these guys on. All right, the nice thing about this T-fitting is it has a shut-off valve on it, so you can winterize your system when the time comes. The most common mistake I see people make with these sharp bite connections is they push it in, they meet some resistance, and then they stop. Well, for a 1/2-inch, this needs to go almost an inch into there. It's a little less than an inch, but I marked it at an inch so I can make sure I've got it seated inside of here. So I'm going to do this one first. You just line it up on there and push. You feel that resistance, then you push again. There's 2 points of resistance. So see how close I am to that mark? So I know that thing is in there. Now these do still swivel, which can be to your benefit. Plus, the fact that we're in an RV, these pipes are flexible, so you don't have to cut off, any to allow for that valve fitting. You can just let that play go up and down. So that's it. I'm gonna pop this one on, and then I'm gonna test for leaks, and then we'll move on from there. So this is where I've decided to mount my water filter faucet. I've taped off the area just in case my drill bit skives off. I don't want to scratch the countertop. I've set it back 2.5 inches. I'm just going to drill a pilot hole, a 3/32 pilot hole right through here just to make sure everything looks good on the other side. Just keeping it straight up and down. I'm just going to drill straight through, and then I'll see where it comes out on the other side. Okay, that's a good spot. You can see I cleared that little sink mounting bracket, and I'm back far enough from that plywood edge to get my big washer on there. So that looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill my larger hole, and we'll get this thing installed. So I'm using a 1/2 inch spade drill bit to go through here nice and slow. What I don't want to do is punch out the plywood on the back side, because there's no way I can drill from that side. So I'm just going to have to drill really slow and try not to break out the back side of that plywood, which is going to help hold this whole thing in. There we go. Let's see what kind of damage we did on the other side. Okay, so that's not too bad. There's a little bit of tear out, but it's not bad. There's a big washer that goes up against that plywood, and that'll provide a good support for the faucet. Okay, I got one more cut to make on this, and again, make sure it's 90 degrees when you cut it. All right, so then let me show you something right here. This is our last connection going into this little T fitting right here. What you need to do, it comes with a brass ferrule. When you're using plastic, you need to swap that out with a plastic ferrule like this. Otherwise, there's a chance that it could cut into that tubing and cause a leak. So you slip that on, and this ferrule is tapered, so you want the tapered end to go toward the fitting there. So that slides down on that. This slides up here, and it goes in and tightens down. If you look back in here, you see I've made all my other connections, and here's my water filter right here. And the nice thing about this is when you get ready to winterize, you can actually depress this little flange right here and disconnect these water lines and take that unit completely out and bring it into your house. So that's a good way to winterize, and then you can just drain the water out of your other supply lines. If you look up on the sink, I've got my faucet in right here, good location, and we're ready just to wrap things up and do a pressure test. Okay, let me show you real quick how to take this Brita 2-stage filter out when you go to winterize. On this valve right here, you want to go ahead and turn it off. That's your main water supply to the filter. Do that before you winterize. And then you get you a 7/16 open end wrench. What you're going to do is just depress those little collets and pull that tubing straight out. So you can slide this over here, press it really hard, and then you pop that out. You lose a little bit of water, but not much. Same thing on the yellow. Press against the collet really hard, and then pull it out. Then you can grab the whole unit, take it right out, and put it inside. Okay, everyone, the installation is complete. Everything's tucked in there really nice. We've got water pressure on. I've checked for leaks. I'm in the process now of just purging the water through the filters and getting all the carbon fins out of there. So that takes about 10 minutes. So while that's doing that, I don't like to go without giving you guys a bonus tip. This is my bonus tip when it comes to water lines. Have something like this in your arsenal when you're traveling. You already got the cutters, but get you some different 1/2-inch fittings. Shark bites are kind of expensive, but in tight places, they're good for repairing a leak in a straight piece of pipe. You can use these fittings right here. They're a little bit cheaper, but you do have to have room to get some tools in there to tighten them up. But for sure, if you can get one L, 190 degree, and one straight shark bite, 1/2-inch by 1/2-inch, that's made for PEX, and this cutter, then you will be in good shape if you get a leak while you're on the road. All right, so stay tuned, because we are headed from Georgia down to Florida, where we're going to put this water filtration system to the real test. See you in a few. This is a big moment, guys. We are in beautiful, sunny Gulfport, Florida. What a perfect place to do this test of the new filtration system in the RV, because as you can see, the water is so bad down here that this house has a multi-stage filtration system. They have a descaler, they have pre-stage filters, post-stage filters, So that's going to be one of our drinking tests. The other drinking test is going to be where I'm hooked up is come right out of the city water. This is city supplied water going to my RV. And of course, in my RV is our 2-stage Brita filter. So let's go see how this test goes.
Hey, baby.
All right, here's our taste testers right here. We have 3 beautiful women and myself, so we'll be doing this test. As you can see, each person has 3 cups labeled 1, 2, and 3. They can drink them in any random order. I just want to know which tastes the best and then which tastes the second best. All righty, is everybody ready? Let's get started. All right, guys, the results are in, and you're going to be kind of surprised. Number 1 was straight city water. Nobody liked that. It smelled funny and it did not taste good at all. Number 2 was the whole house filtration system. And number 3 was the RV water. And they tied. They came in equally. So that's pretty impressive, because if you look over here, what they have on this house is that's right around $1,000 system plus several more $100 to install versus what I paid for the Brita. So hey, I'm a believer. We love it. It tastes great. I showed you how to install it. So go out and get you one. If you have any questions, please ask me. I'll be glad to help you. And until next time, folks, safe travel.